My alarm blared and I groaned, reaching out blindly for my phone. Cold prickled my wrist, a sign of the chill that set in overnight. October in Salt Lake City was usually much warmer, and of course the cold snap would happen the days my father was back in town. I'd avoided the campaign trail for most of the summer, citing my poor mental health as an excuse. As the black sheep, so to speak, they didn't much mind my absence. Except avoiding the campaign trail meant seeing less of Matthew. That was the real downside, and the reason I forced myself out of bed at this hour on a Sunday. I was no stranger to early mornings and late nights with baseball, but not even coaching had me up this early. My sole purpose was a glimpse of Matt taking to the streets before any decent human was awake. The mind-numbing burn from the exercise, a bonus. When I worked out, my brain was quiet. And when my brain shut the fuck up, my mental health was better. When life gives you a reason to keep on living, you got to take that shit. Even if that reason is a 38-year-old man I had absolutely no chance with. And maybe it was infatuation. Or that he treated me like a human in a world that saw me as the petulant and unruly son. I was so into him, and he'd never given me a second glance, nor had any clue I had a thing for him. It was better that way. This morning I'd get him all to myself, if I didn't count the Secret Service detail. And that was all the motivation I needed. Without opening my eyes, I pulled on running tights left over from my previous world, shorts and a tee, then a sweatshirt, gloves, and a hat. I'd be boiling by the time we finished, but the first mile in the wind would hurt. I stepped out of the governor's mansion on an unassuming snow-covered street, lined with historic houses, tucked away on the north side of Salt Lake City. About as picturesque as it got, but the landscape wasn't what drew my eyes. While everyone else was curled up under blankets waiting for the spring thaw, the presumptive vice president-elect had his ass in the air, stretching in the middle of his detail. Matthew Wilder was akin to a Kennedy, loved by everyone, and better looking than anyone running for public office should be. He was the most eligible bachelor in the world, soon to be elected, never married, and chiseled, thanks to his running habits.
I thought you'd take the morning off.
Matt looked like he was ready for a full photo shoot. Not a single hair out of place, cheeks pink and blue eyes alert. He was tall and graceful, everything a runner should be, while I was a couple of inches shorter at 5'11", with broad shoulders, which made me a great brick wall to stick at first base. Not a chance. I had to look like a fucking barbarian compared to him.
I'm impressed.
Have you slept? I asked.
Would you be surprised if I told you no?
Matt ran his fingers through his dirty blonde hair. You can't keep doing that. When are you going to sleep? I joined him in stretching, mostly to have something to do instead of gawking.
After we win, I'll sleep.
Are you new? I burst out laughing. The sound echoed down the empty street. Sorry. I tried to contain myself, but it wasn't happening. At this hour, I didn't come with a filter. You know how naive you sound?
What would you know about governing?
He took a few steps through the dusting of snow. It would be gone when the sun rose, but for now, it clung to the world like I did to these morning runs. I followed, and we fell into a light jog. More than you, clearly.
It won't be me up at all hours of the day and night. That will be your father.
With the way he works you now, I think you'll be working as hard as he will be.
Maybe you're right, but we aren't there yet. We could lose.
Matt barely sounded like he was running. Not winded at all. I'd been on both track and baseball teams through high school and played Division I college ball, and my lungs were already burning. You're 12 points ahead.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.